Again, that's community.upwork.com. Look up Interactive Freelancer Webinar. You'll find a recorded version there. Okay, so let's dive right in and let's talk about building a profile, because that's one of the first things that you're going to do. We're going to ask you when you sign up on Upwork and tell us you're looking to freelance and get some work. We're going to ask you to fill out a profile. And before you dive in and start adding photos and overview section and your title and everything like that, I want you to take a step back, think about what this profile means and how it's perceived across the site and what it represents. Your profile page should represent the most professional version of yourself. Okay, what is that professional version, that expert, skilled, hardworking person that you want to represent to someone who's never even seen you, and is evaluating and weighing your profile versus 10 or 15 or 20 other freelancers. So with that in mind, it starts with something as simple as your profile photo. And these two examples here are really good ones. What we're looking at is shoulder to full headshot, complete visibility, clear visibility of their face, a friendly, welcoming expression, and that's actually something that's not second nature to some cultures and some regions, is to smile a little bit. But we found on Upwork it actually makes a difference. Dress professionally and have a clear and simple background. So you see here in their background, there's no, they're not at a party with 10 or 15 other people hanging out, behind them. They're not out on a hike with a distracting nature scene behind them. It shows very clearly their face, who they are, and has a very plain and simple background back there. We don't recommend black and white photos. They can look very artistic, and I think really can translate well in some environments. But on the Upwork platform, we found they actually don't work as well. So color photos work best. And then as you move down the sections of your profile, it really comes down to being targeted and specific about what you do and the type of work that you specialize in. And that's really what I want to focus on, is what do you specialize in? And it doesn't have to be a specific programming language, okay, if you're a web developer, but it's a web developer, okay? You're not an IT specialist, which means maybe you do web development, maybe you do database administration, maybe you do IT support. No, you are a web developer. Or in this case, you're a graphic designer, a web UX UI designer. These are two really good examples because they tell you exactly what type of work Alexander and Kelly specialize in. That's the way to think about your title. Make it brief, but make it targeted to the type of work that you specialize in or that you want to do here on Upwork. Now you might say, well, I have two different skill sets. I'm a cartoonist and I'm a translator. Well, the title should represent one or the other, ideally. More than likely, the one that you see more work being available on Upwork. And then in your overview section, you could talk a little bit more about that other skill set, particularly if they're two very different skills. If they're pretty similar, like this one right here, it makes sense to actually combine them into one title. So I like Alexander's because they actually combine UX, UI designer into its one title. Your overview section is where you get to outline in your own words the type of experience or the type of work that you're looking to get here, and the type of work and experience that you're bringing to the table. Okay, this is, I like to say, you're adding more context behind that title. And you see down here some tips. I say no bullet points. That's not exactly true. What I mean is don't make your overview section another list of keywords. Okay, it's not enough to say I'm a video expert with experience in Camtasia, Adobe, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That doesn't tell anybody anything. What have you done with that experience? How have you used Camtasia? What kind of videos have you specialized in and done the most work in? What are some of your successes as an email marketing expert? I'm an email marketing expert. In my last couple of roles, I've helped teams increase their open rate email campaigns from 10 to 30%. I'm just making stuff up, obviously. But what you're trying to do here is add more background to what it is, that the value that you provide and who you are. And make sure it's really well written. You don't want any typos, grammatical errors, no links to your LinkedIn or your other offsite profiles. This is about what you're doing on Upwork and how you're going to best represent yourself. And then as you're adding skills, I believe we limit you to 10 skills that you can add there. I typically see freelancers putting 5 to 8 skills. And these are the skills, again, that they specialize in. We say targeted to the type of work that you do, targeted to the type of work that you want to do. Okay? It's about being specific and filling in that niche that a client is looking for. The work history section that you see up here is something that will fill out over time. Okay, so you don't really have to do anything there yet, because what's going to happen is as you complete jobs, they're going to show up in this work history section along with the feedback that you receive. But this employment history section and this education section you can fill out today, and that's really all I want you to do is fill those sections out, because I actually find some freelancers who won't fill this out completely, and then your profile just does not look as complete as it could. In addition,